Good morning, good morning. We're here on our second day of our trip. We are going from Zurich to Bern, and then Bern to Interlaken, and then Lausanne. We're gonna finish off the trip in Lausanne and then hit a train to Paris. Finish the trip as in Switzerland. We're gonna be here for 4 days. So guys, just a couple observations I noticed about being here just for 1 day. People here dress stylish. There's hardly any people that are overweight. The downtown, Old Town area, full of people. Everybody loves to dine out on a terrace level outside. I love seeing that, great vibe. Also, something that I didn't expect is that I've got a lot of allergies here. I didn't expect. So I'm always sneezing. I've got itchy eyes. I'm taking Claritin. Still hear the head congestion, so I didn't expect that at all, especially coming from the South and Alabama and Georgia. We already have bad allergies there, but here apparently it's worse. So maybe two things I noticed. One, I sneeze the most when I'm in the subway. And two, I sneeze also a lot when I'm walking under a tree. I guess they got these trees that we don't have in the South, in the States, that really produce some kind of spores or something in the air that make me want to sneeze. Anyway, loving the vibes here, and yeah, food is definitely expensive, very expensive. And we bought like 2 iced teas for 11 bucks. After you do the whole exchange rate from Swiss franc to US dollars. But anyway, we kind of expected that going into the trip, and so we're excited to see what else we have in store for today. Bern's gonna be interesting, and the weather is pure sunny weather, very clean air, so we're loving it. All right, so if you want to know the best one-day trip you can ever have in Bern and want to do as much as you can to fit into 1 day, well, here it is. Look no further. Now, what we ended up doing is we left Zurich, and our checkout time was 11 a.m. from our hotel, or Airbnb rather. And when we left there, we knew that by the time we got to Bern, it would be about an hour-and-a-half train ride to get there. And then our check-in time at our hotel is at 3 p.m. So basically, assuming we can get an early check-in with our luggage, then we would have about till around 12 o'clock or 12:30 to the rest of the night to do whatever we wanted. All right, so we ended up arriving at our hotel, Los Laurentiis in Bern, and we stayed for 1 night. And I must say, this is probably the nicest hotel we were at in all of our stay in Europe. And I'm not just talking about comparing it to Zurich, which of course that's an Airbnb. This one was much better, but also to the hotels and Airbnbs that we would end up staying in Paris and London days after we left Bern. This one had a contemporary modern feel. It had a gigantic bear. As soon as you go through the entrance, you're greeted by this gigantic statue. They had self-serving lunch, dinner, snacks. They had coffee. They had pretty much everything that you can think of. And even when we got there, we were there a few hours early. They let us keep our luggage inside their service room. When we got to our hotel room, man, it had everything. They had a full kitchen with plenty of utensils. They had a really nice bathroom, spacious, clean, plenty of charging stations all around the bed, and the bed was comfortable as well. They had this remote where you can open the blinds automatically, whether it was from down to up or just turning the blinds open. So I thought that was pretty cool. If you do end up staying in Bern, try out Los Laurentiis because you get a really nice place for the money. Okie dokie, so we made it here to our hotel. As you can see, very nice Los Laurentiis. Man, what a difference compared to Airbnb. Weather is spectacular today. We're about to take a bus going back towards the station where we came from now that we dropped off all of our stuff, our luggage, and we're gonna go check out the downtown area of Bern, and we're excited, so come check it out with us. Okay, so for observations, definitely things here are more expensive. Also, I find everything to be very clean here. The transportation system, everything's clean. And also you've got bathrooms where you gotta pay money that I'm not used to. But again, good thing is it's clean. So we can't complain with that. So when we arrived at the station, we got a bus to the hotel that cost us 2.6 francs. And then when we got there, we did an early check-in to our luggage and then took another bus
all the way to Old Town. So the first place that you want to go check out is Old Town. That is where you have everything. And Old Town, also known as Old City, is unique because it's got an amazing clock tower there that has an iconic medieval look to it that was built in the early 16th century. You've also got a lot of cultural scenery and culinary delights, a very relaxed atmosphere for the city. And also, it's the capital of Switzerland, so you have to check it out. So once you check out Old City, from there, after looking at the clock tower, walking distance within the city, you'll want to check out the Bern Minster, also known as the Cathedral at Münsterplatz. This cathedral is an iconic place to visit, a great sightseeing place. And this cathedral was built in the Gothic style, and the construction started in 1421, so it's been around for several centuries. And if you're curious, because it's a pretty tall building, but interestingly enough, it took centuries later for it to be completed in 1893. It's considered the tallest cathedral in all of Switzerland.
Dokie, so we made it into the cathedral right before it closed, 10 to 5, so we made it at 4:40. It's enough time to see the inside. Very cool. They have some pews that are to the sides of the cathedral inside that were made during the 1500s with a Renaissance style, and they're the only Renaissance pieces of furniture in the whole cathedral. This was right before the Reformation that they made these. So it's a Protestant church, even though it kind of takes on a look from the outside as well as the inside of a Catholic church, but it's not. So again, constructed back in the 1500s, they have a steeple that was considered the tallest steeple in the world at one point. And they have a part in the back that they constructed and they stopped, and they never did finish it. Very interesting. There's a story about that, but it's kind of drawn out. So here we are. Very cool. Check it out if you're ever in Bern. Still jet lag. We're here at what's this place called? Egger Beer. Egger Beer. This is our first time eating out on a terrace, and the weather is perfect. We're in Bern. We tried to go to an expo. Come to find out that the expo is only open a few times a year, and today is not one of them. So we had to go back onto the tram closer to the downtown area, and we're gonna see an amazing cathedral right after we eat. We're hungry, so we're gonna eat a really good meal, and then afterwards, you're gonna see a cool cathedral. All right, we're here on our way to the Rose Garden, and we had to take a pit stop and check out the bears. Yes, over there behind me, there's a bear habitat, and we saw one bear. He was munching on some grass. No fish, but I'm sure they feed him fish at some point. And right behind me, this beautiful river. And it's about 6 o'clock, so sun's coming down, weather's perfect, clear air, and beautiful. Not just blue, but green waters. Very clear, very beautiful. Okie dokie, so we're here. I think we finally made it to the Rose Garden. Looks great. We just crossed under a bridge. Check out all the houses on the hill. I mean, stunning scenery. It's incredible. You got flowers of all colors, not just the roses, but the white ones and the pink ones too. Man, this is a gorgeous view. Look at that clock tower right there. Yes, sir. All right, we're going up this big hill to the Rose Garden. Didn't know we were supposed to go up such a big steep hill to get there. I guess they make you work hard to get to the beautiful places. So here we go. We're doing all right. It's not that tough. It's not that. Oh, okay, I lied. It's getting really tiring. Oh, okay, we made it, guys. Guess what? Is that it? That's the Rose Garden, that's it? That's it, y'all. We came uphill just to see that. Oh, I'm dying. So when we got to the Rose Garden, we were actually very impressed just with the scenery in general. I mean, it's a mecca for flower lovers, great place to unwind. And really, it's a great, they got a restaurant at the top of the hill. That's if you can get to the top. All right, guys, so we're here. We're finally at the Rose Garden. We just saw a spectacular panoramic view just now. And this is the Rose Garden. You can see this is like a flat little green area. It reminds me of back home, Swanee Town Green, but 10 times better. Luscious green atmospheres, lots of people having picnics, kids playing on the playground with some really cool playground sets made out of real wood. Whole bunch of people out eating on the pavilion, restaurant outdoors. And here, right ahead of me, is the actual rose garden. Let's take a look.
You know, if you want to unwind, relax, that is the place to be, overlooking the entire city. If you're there during a sunset, oh my gosh, even better. And the Rose Garden, what makes it so appealing is that it has a wonderful view, again, of the city, specifically of Old Town, and then the park is home to 220 different types of roses. Maybe you don't see all of them in this video, but you can definitely see that there are several different kinds. Believe it or not, back in the 1700s and 1800s, the Rose Garden served as a cemetery. But starting in 1913, that's when it became a public park, known for its rich, beautiful flowers and a pond. So again, if you only have one day to spend in Bern, this is a place that you need to go. First, check out Old Town, then make your way to the Rose Garden, and you can really finish up the day there because that is one of the most breathtaking views that you can get. So on our trip, we went to Zurich first, and then we ended up going to Bern, and here we are. Why we chose Bern? Well, because it's the capital of Switzerland. And there's a lot of interesting facts about Bern that you definitely want to know and check out. For example, Bern's Old Town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1983, and it's exceptionally well-preserved medieval style city with cobbled streets, sandstone buildings, and beautiful fountains. You can even bring a water bottle and fill up with free water all day long if you just hang out in Old Town long enough. The architecture and the layout date way back to the 12th century, making it a very captivating place to explore. They've got a clock tower called the Zickglogge, if I pronounced that correctly, that has a medieval look, built in the early 16th century. It's got a bear park even, where if you're walking long enough around the park, you will see live bears. And we saw one, and I was like, holy cow, this is amazing. And if you don't know already, Switzerland is famous for chocolate and cheese, and Bern is no exception. You can find so many shops where they boast tons of different chocolate that you can purchase, as well as local cheese specialties and a range of restaurants. I will say, like we found out in Zurich, that things are pricey, and the lunch that we had ended up costing us $75 once you do the exchange rate from Swiss francs to US dollar. Bern, like the rest of Switzerland, has a big emphasis on environmental sustainability. So they promote green initiatives and eco-friendly practices. So you'll see that they do a lot of recycling. It's a very clean, conscious city that everywhere you walk, you can tell that they've just taken care of the place meticulously. What makes Bern so interesting too, as opposed to Zurich, is that while it has a city feel, it also is very close to nature. So the proximity to the Bernese Alps, for example, is pretty close. There's stunning landscapes and a lot of numerous outdoor activities like hiking, skiing, mountaineering that you could do if you decide to spend more than a day in Bern. So after Bern, we ended up going to Interlaken, and you don't want to miss the next video where I cover all the ins and outs of Interlaken, and again, what you can do in a one-day trip to Interlaken. Don't miss out. Please subscribe. Catch you on the next video.